Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sorry, I forgot to grab my coffee before I actually got on live. But good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today is my 50th birthday. 50 years old today. And I can't even describe to you my last 5 years of my life. The last 5 years of my life have been absolutely amazing. It's just been unbelievable, and it was all thanks to becoming debt free. Had I not become debt free, none of this would have happened. I'd have still been in that cubicle at work 5 years from now. 5 years later, I'd have still been in there. I know I would have, if I didn't wake up. And now that I understand how to become a millionaire on top of that, no, I'm not one, but I know how to do it now. All right. This is for, what's up, Fresh Prince? What's up, Mark? This is for the youngsters that are coming up now. They're in grade school. Kids in grade school are listening to me now, right? And I'm gonna give you guys some words of advice that kind of help you become a multimillionaire, but you'll get to a point where you understand money is really, it's just a tool. It's not Morning Best version. It's a tool. It's nothing more than just a piece of paper. But yes, it's needed in the world, right? As you get older, make sure you always do the opposite of the majority. Anything to do with money, always do the opposite. So if you see, as you grow up, you see your friends and family. No, let's start even younger than that. When you start hearing things like this from your parents, like money doesn't grow on trees, you got to think, yes, it does. It's paper. It does grow on trees. We don't have money for that. Don't let that lock in your brain, because those are things that are being subconsciously said and programmed into your brain to where you believe money is scarce. And then you'll grow up believing that, and it's not true. You get to determine that. You will get to determine if money becomes a tool or becomes scarce, because money is not scarce. It's not. That's just a belief. Debt is just not part of life. Don't ever let anybody make you believe that debt is not part of life. You do the exact opposite. Ill wills. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. I really do. Hi, Fee. Good morning. And as you get older and you hear these things throughout your life, you'll hear from so many people that everybody is doing whatever it takes to get money. You do the exact opposite of that. And as you grow older, I want you to realize the wealthy make the rules and the laws. The wealthy make the rules and the laws. Never forget that. That is very, very true. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It is that. And as you grow older, keep that in mind, because you cannot break the rules and the laws that the wealthy create while you're on your way up to becoming wealthy. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you break the very laws that the wealthy create and try to become wealthy yourself? You break the very rules that they create, but you want to be part of that group. That doesn't make sense. Just follow the rules. There's plenty for everybody. There's plenty for everybody. What's up, Mark? You will, if you at age 50 now, I'm gonna help you skip a lot of hurdles. And this 20s, 30s, hey, this is for you too. As long, it's really fairly simple. As long as you never finance nothing, you'll be rich. You always have money. Let me just say this. You will always have money, because rich means many different things to many different people. The only one you really want to worry about right now, the only word you really want to worry about is wealth, wealthy. And wealthy doesn't mean you have unlimited amounts of money. Wealth means you own the time in your life. You own something that you can never get more of, ever. Nobody can give you, you can't borrow some from anybody. You cannot get more of that. Well, time is the most important thing on earth. And as long as you own the time in your life, you have all the time to make as much money as you wish. Money is a side product of that. Never let anybody tell you that, that whatever you decide to do for a living is dumb or stupid, that you shouldn't. Hey, that's their life and you have your own. And it's so simple. It's so simple to become, you follow what I'm teaching you right now. You will never have to worry about money. You'll never have to worry about it. You do the opposite of the majority your whole entire life when it comes to money. You can still fit in, but you'll fit in a different way. A very different way. Had I known the stuff I'm sharing with you guys now, my whole life would have been different, but that's neither here nor there. I'm here at 50 to be able to even tell you this story, because let me tell you something. Had I turned 50 and still was in as much debt as I was when I was in my 30s, because if I continue to be the same, if I continue those same habits that I was in my 30s, I probably would have double the amount of debt right now at 50. When you kids get old enough to get a job and you start filling out that job paperwork and you see them start mentioning retirement, and then retirement is age 65 and this and that. No, that's just part of the programming. Retirement is not an age. Retirement is when you feel like retiring. And even that word retire is wrong. What I do right now, I don't want to ever retire from. I don't want to ever stop doing what I'm doing. This mic I'm talking into you right now, I feel like a rapper. I might end up gold plating this microphone. I didn't know this microphone was going to be my moneymaker. Didn't know that at all. I absolutely love what I do. Love it. If you follow this channel, you can even see how it has transitioned into a family. Did I know I was going to do this when I turned 50? That wasn't part of my plan. I was following just like everybody else. As you're growing up as a kid, you're told on TV, if you don't go to college, you ain't going to be nothing. That is not true. Don't believe the hype. That's not true. You follow what's inside of you. And never, ever, ever think you are the only one that thinks the way you do. Don't ever think that. That'll be the biggest mistake ever if you ever think that. Because what you're really saying is that you believe just because you are the way you are, you think the way you think you're the only one on earth to think that way. That is not true. You speak it into existence, and the people that understand you will hear you. And they will make it known that they hear you. I can't even count how many times people thought I was crazy when I told them what I was going to do. Quit a 6-figure job just to help people get out of debt. They were like, what? Are you crazy? 6 figures? You going to quit that? I said, sure am. Because once you do that, you break outside the box. And then I remember growing up, I always heard, hey, man, think outside the box. Think outside the box. You know what that box is? That box was the debt matrix. Now that I'm outside the box, there is no limit. In the debt matrix, people believe that if you make 6 figures, you made it. Never once did I stop to say, compared to who? Compared to the guy down the street or to Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. 6 figures ain't nothing then. Here are people, youngsters, I want you guys to pay attention to this, okay? Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. Here are people, a single person. Look at Jeff Bezos, a single person making billions with a B. Now, the people in the debt matrix look at him like, oh man, look how rich he is. No, don't look at it like the people in the debt matrix. This is how you're supposed to look at it. He is one person showing you what can be done if you just put your mind to it. One person making more money than the people in the debt matrix can make in 100 lifetimes. He's doing it in this single lifetime as one person. He's showing you that there's plenty of room on this side, outside of the debt matrix. If you're in grade school, listen to this, you will never know what it feels like, ever, to have the pressure of debt, for your decisions to be made because of debt. Because trust me, I don't ever want you to feel that. Never, ever have to make a decision because it's based on debt. Pay attention to your parents. See if they come home miserable talking about how they hate their job or they're just tired of these hours. Just listen. Just listen to them. They don't know they're saying it. They're saying it. If you hear them saying it every single day, just listen to them. And if you want to take it a step further, just go up to your parents and go, hey, mom, dad, you don't like this job yet? Why don't you just quit? You know what they're going to turn to you say? They're going to turn to you and say, I can't. I got too many bills. Exactly. They don't understand that they're answering their own question. They can't hear you. I guarantee you. Say it to them. They won't even hear you. That's what I'm keeping you from. We trap ourselves. I trapped myself for years. My last job, I was making $160,000 a year. To a lot of people in debt matrix, that sounds like a lot of money. It's not, when you know it's unlimited. You will never have to experience that kind of pressure, that kind of forced decision making. People risk stealing $20 from a till, changing their whole life for embezzlement. Now they have a record. If they were not in debt, they wouldn't do things like that. Wouldn't do things like that at all. You will never have to experience that, ever. When you're financially free, when you grow up, it's going to help you in so many different ways that you have no idea You won't know any other way. It'll help you on job decision making, the things you're going to do for a living, the people you meet in your life, the serious relationships that you that are going to come along in your life. Because trust me, when you decide to get serious with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, right? You're going to pay close attention to their finances and how they handle them, because it makes a huge decision. I mean, a huge difference. If they don't care, you can't be with them. You won't be with, trust me, you won't be with them. If they don't care about being in debt, or they believe that everybody's in debt or has debt or whatever they believe, it doesn't matter what they believe, when math will clearly show that that is not true. Math can show them. It will clearly show you that it is a clear choice. They are choosing to be in debt. They're choosing it. Math doesn't care what they believe. Slavery is alive and well. You are not going to be a slave ever, ever. You are never going to blame anybody for your misfortune and finances. You're never going to believe taxes are the one that keeps you down. You're going to clearly see the purpose of taxes. There is a clear purpose for taxes. Clear. This is why you can go to prison for tax evasion. The purpose of taxes, the way I'm telling you right now, it's not in books. I promise you, it's not in books. You can't read it anywhere. You can't Google it. Only other people that speak debt free can tell you this. Even if I took it and wrote a book about this, very few people will even know to even look for this book. And if a person that's in the debt matrix found this book, that said, like, I actually wrote a book like this, right? If people in the debt matrix found it and read it, they wouldn't even understand it. They'd be like, what is he talking about? What? People in the debt matrix believe taxes are bad. No, it's there's a reason, or else if taxes didn't exist, the whole economy would break. Here's a hint if you really want to know. Sit back and really think about why, out of all things, how come you can owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to student loan debt for over your whole lifetime, but you can't do the same with taxes? There's a reason. I'm going to save you youngsters so many obstacles of misinformation, of financial information out there. You'll be able to filter through all the fakers. Because this is the gift, youngsters. This is, it sounds, well, let me see. It sounds like a gift, but it's really not. It's just basic mathematics. The majority of people giving financial information out there are living in the debt matrix. And they only speak debt, but half of them don't even, some do, some don't. It doesn't really matter if they do or don't. But as long as they are speaking debt, they don't know they're speaking debt, especially if they've been in debt all their life. They don't really realize the language of debt. They don't realize the language of debt free even exists. That's why it cannot be faked. You cannot fake something that you don't know exists. This is how I know I'm going to become a multi-billionaire. This is how I know. Never forget, when you come to this channel, never forget this. Everything I'm saying, I can prove 100% to be true. Everything. The majority of the finance pages or finance channels that you go to YouTube are hypothetical situations. You'll be able to filter through all the people that are just talking crap, just out there trying to make some money. All they're doing, they just got to step up on bigger words, bigger phrases. They might know a couple of extra things, whatever, right? They're not doing anything. They're not saying anything. You'll be able to hear them just talking. They're just talking. And once you guys become a millionaire, billionaire, whatever you choose, it's your choice, whatever, right? You'll realize there's absolutely no reason to show it. Why would you show, if the majority of people are in debt, why would you show that you have money? That doesn't even make any sense. There's no reason for it. That's why when you see uh, the Apple CEO that passed away, the current Apple CEO, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, you see how they dress on stage? You see them have Gucci and all this other stuff on. They know that stuff is totally unnecessary. There's absolutely no reason for that. We got bigger things to take care of than worry about what type of clothes that we got on our back. It doesn't even make any sense. You don't have to prove nothing to anybody. You just live. Those people up on stage, they own the time in their life. They know that's the most important thing on earth. I'm gonna help you guys. I'm gonna help you guys skip so many years, skip so many unnecessary relationships, unnecessary scam artists, financial scam artists. Because once you understand it's just mathematics, scam artists won't even be able to mess with you. You know why? The easiest way to tell a scams don't make financial sense. That's how to tell it's a scam. Man, I'm 50. That's crazy. 50 years old. And I got people in grades. I got kids in grade school listening to me. I had no idea that was coming. Believe that. I had no idea that was coming. Life has been, for me, life has been just crazy this last 5-6 years, man. Had I known life could be this way, especially at 30. Especially at 30. Thanks, Mark. If I could trade places with Fresh Prince CEO right now. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love where I'm at. I love my life. But man, I think back if I was 30, early 30s right now, knowing what I know about money. But I know my purpose. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. You know, hindsight is 2020, of course, but I love where I'm at today. I do. Like right now, I'm just looking out the glass pane window of my door here, and it's beautiful and sunny here in South Carolina. I grew up in Seattle all my life, and it's a beautiful place, but it did a lot of raining. It was cloudy all the time, and I just had to I had to move to a place where there's some sun. The sun energizes me. I love waking up to the sun every single day. I love it. Love it. Love it. Once I started this channel, I know I'm just kind of rambling. I'm just listening to you guys, but I want you guys to really, those of you that follow me, I want you to really pay attention to how, just like I said last night in my audio, I want you guys to pay attention to how the youngsters are relating to me. Now, if you're in your 20s and your 30s, hell, even 40s, right? I want you to, that should show you the simplicity of what I'm saying that can change your life. That's why the kids are picking this up. They know it's just grade school math. This has started like 3 or 4 months ago when a client of mine told me his son that was in grade school likes what I'm saying. Right? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And then once the kid figured out I'm just using the math that he learned in second and third grade. That's why it makes sense. So if you're an adult and you see that grade school kids are understanding what I'm saying, this should tell you how simple this is that I'm saying or what I'm saying. Debt free has changed my life. Thank God that I was debt free by the age of 50. I couldn't even. There is no going back, you guys. There is no going back. I promise you, there is no going back. Once you become financially free, there is no going back. You will do whatever it takes to keep this type of freedom, whatever it takes, legally. There's absolutely no reason to cheat the system. There's plenty for everybody on this side. There's plenty. You just got to realize that. You got to get out of the mindset of believing money is scarce. It's not scarce. Especially when it comes to physical money, like cash in your pocket, it's not scarce. You know why? Because the majority of people, it doesn't even exist for them. It doesn't even exist for them. It doesn't even exist for them, and they don't even know it. Let me answer this question for Taboo Smash. Taboo Smash says, "Hey, a guy who worked at a community bank told me that when you get for college is a good debt. I wonder why." Taboo, I'll tell you exactly why. He just told you about his personal finances. He just told you this is the difference between speaking debt and speaking debt free. Only a person in debt would ever say such a thing. There is no such thing as good debt, bad debt. It's just debt. Debt, mathematics and debt, math and debt go together. They're one. Math and debt are one. The math and debt. Money and math are one. Okay, we could, if math didn't exist, we couldn't count money. We wouldn't know what to do with it. That's just like saying 5 plus 5 equals 10, and that's good. What do you mean good? It's just 10. Exactly, it's just 10. Debt is not good at all. It's just debt. I don't like debt, so I don't want debt. He just told you that he has college debt and he believes it's a good thing. That's all he says. He doesn't even know what he's saying. Only and Taboo, let me tell you, that's the difference between the languages. Debt is debt. He's speaking debt. And you said he works at a bank. This should tell you a person's job title doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter who they are. He's working at a bank telling you that. Whenever you guys are listening to this channel right now, whenever you hear somebody say good debt, bad debt, you just say they're living in a debt matrix because there is no such thing. It's just debt. It's like this. Let me explain something to you so you guys can really understand what I mean by, especially you youngsters too. Okay, I want you guys to listen to this. Accountants go to college, get certificates, get degrees in accounting being taught mathematics, how to balance books, how to balance business books. But yet most of them are in debt. They know how to balance the books of a business, but they don't know how to balance their own books. Why? Think about it. Why or how would an accountant ever be in debt when they know how not to be in debt? But yet they are. Does that make sense? It doesn't. That's why it doesn't mean anything. And if you guys know an accountant, send them to this channel. They're gonna have to agree with you. Everything I say, even if somebody came to my channel and disagreed with me, they have to prove why they're disagreeing with me. They can't just say it. When it comes to money, words mean everything. The true definition of each word you use when you talk about money, you better get a clear, make sure everybody understand, make sure it's the same definition for that word. When they start using words like I feel, like pay close attention to when people say things like that. Like I feel that I should be depositing this much in my account or whatever. We don't care. Why are you saying feeling? That has nothing to do with anything. When people say words like, let's say, God, what am I thinking? Entrepreneur. When they say rich, the word rich, a lot of people use the word rich. You don't know what their version of rich means. Certain people's version of rich means, hey, I got a boat and a car, and they're making payments on both. Most people would think, oh, those guys are rich. They got a boat and a new car. You know, that doesn't mean anything. Youngsters, never fall for people's stuff. You will understand this. Understand this. Once you're out of the debt matrix, well, hopefully you'll never be in it. But you'll look at everything as a thing. Everything's a thing. Everything. Things only cost what people believe they cost. If you see a pair of, like, let's say Dre Beats headphones and they're going for $300-400, right? Says who? Dre Beats? Because it didn't cost that much to make them. It didn't. But if you can get the majority of the people to believe they cost that much, then that's what they cost to them. A Ferrari is not $300,000. It doesn't really cost that much to make a Ferrari. It doesn't, no. But if you can get the majority of people to believe it costs that much money, then it costs that much money. Everything is a thing. And when I say that, everything I look at right now is a thing. When I'm on this mic, I want you guys to understand this, especially when I get on panels. It doesn't matter if a person's been in the finance game 30, 40, 50 years. It doesn't matter. And they, say like I get on the panel and some guy says, I'm gonna prove LJ he's wrong. I won't even lose a wink of sleep over it because math will always prove me right. Always. Math will always prove me right. Always. Jared says, I'm 31, no student loans or credit card debt, and I picked up a second job so I could start investing. Hey, Jared, this is what I suggest, okay? And I don't know if you're doing it already or not. Right now, you are outside the debt matrix, okay? What I want you to understand something. I want you to stop, no longer look at money individually. I want you to start looking at money collectively. Because never forget, none of this would work if we didn't all agree this green piece of paper we could exchange for goods and services. If all of us in the United States didn't agree to that, it wouldn't work. So now that we all agree, that's thinking collectively. Before investing outside of yourself, you invest in all pre-tax options, 401ks, HSAs, and this is why. The majority of the people are in debt. They cannot take advantage of maxing out pre-tax options that the government offers. The government says, hey, if you take this vehicle, this 401k, this is like, look at it as practice before you start your own company or your own business, right? Look at this as practice. Max out every pre-tax option. And the government says, hey, if you do this, not only will we put $19,000 away in your 401k, you'll be able to take off that same $19,000 off your annual income. The majority of the US cannot afford to do that, so they stay high in their tax bracket. What I'm saying is this, Mark, the 6% match, that's just the frosting, okay? The real money savings, the real guaranteed savings, when you invest, there is no guaranteed ROI on investing. There is none. It doesn't exist. But if you max out your 401k, that is guaranteed ROI that the majority of the US cannot take advantage of. This is called phantom income. Phantom income, the majority of people cannot see it because they are in debt. It's only phantom to those who are in debt. The 6% match. Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying, Jared? The only reason why I'm telling you, Jared, this is the only reason why I'm telling you this. You have no student loans, you're 30, and you have no credit card debt. You max out your 401k, you max out your HSA. Those are all pre-tax options. That's guaranteed ROI, guaranteed. Nothing outside of you can ever claim that, nothing. Once you max out all pre-tax options and then you venture out to investing outside of yourself. But right now, don't miss that guaranteed money. The 6% match, that's just the frosting. That's what the people in debt see. You will see like this. Let me put it this way, Jared, okay? Now, let me tell you why. I'm going to explain to you math. Only listen to me mathematically, Jared, okay? Listen. People in debt only see the 3% match, the 6% match, and they're not even getting that. They just believe they are. But this is how you tell, okay? Listen. If you take a person in debt and say, hey, add up all your savings, add up all your debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If the majority of people are in debt, that number is going to be a large negative number. Now you take 6% from that large negative number, that's how much they're matching. They're matching nothing. They just believe they're matching something. Doesn't matter what they believe. It doesn't matter. If that number is a large negative number, you cannot invest negative dollars into anything. That's mathematically impossible. Now you, on the other hand, you have no debt. So savings minus debt equals a number above zero in the black. Now, when you put your money in there, you max out the $19,000 or the $19,500 in 2020. You get to take that same $19,500 off of your annual income. It all counts how much money you're making, of course, and then on top of that, if you're 31, you'll be making a lot of money. And then you max out your HSA, counts on if you're married. And now let's say like you're married, I think it was like 6,700 something number like that. You had the $19,500 and the 67. And now you'll be paying all out-of-pocket medical expenses with 100% of your dollar on an HSA. HSA is health savings account. While the majority of people are in debt, they're paying their out-of-pocket medical expenses with with after-tax money, net income. So if it was say like their out-of-pocket medical expense, let's just say $1. Let's keep it even. It was $1. They're not really paying with $1. They have 70 cents because it's been taxed. They have to add another. They have to take an additional 30 cents out of their pocket. Take an additional 30 cents out of their pocket to pay for that out-of-pocket medical expense. That the government says, if you invest in this vehicle, the HSA will help you pay for your out-of-pocket medical expenses by what? Not even charging you tax. Bam. That's phantom income. So while the majority of people who are in debt paying out-of-pocket medical expenses with their net income, you'll be paying it with your gross. So you're making, like, for example, okay, we're going to do this. Jared says he's making, I'm going to show you something, Jared, while we're on this topic here. 1 second here. We're going to do this. Check this out, Jared. Okay. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. Okay. But this is very important. Making $105,000 a year, you are in the 24th percentile tax bracket. Okay. If you didn't know that, never, ever, ever, ever not know your tax bracket. If somebody asks you, what is your tax bracket? That's a person that knows about money. Never walk around not knowing your tax bracket. Taxes are very, very important to this equation. And never cheat on them. Never deal with somebody that's trying to cheat on them. Ever. That's very important. You are in the 24 percentile tax bracket right now as a single person, okay? If you put, and check this out, if you max out your $19,000, $19,500 in your 401k, say like you max it, we're going to do a single. HSA is like $3,500. You at $19,500 plus $3,500. You take that off of your annual income, and guess what happens? You just go from the 24 percentile tax bracket down to the 22 percentile tax bracket. You pay less in taxes. So you get to put money away for retirement, and you pay less in taxes. The majority of people in debt cannot always think about money collectively, not individually, because you're not alone. You could not do any of this if it was just you on earth. 105,000 at 31. By the time you're 40, your salary is going to go up. You're going to be so rich by the time you're 40. If you just remember this. This is just a piece of it. We're just talking. I can teach people how to pay a house off in 7 years, not 30. 7 years, not 30 years, 7 years. Always know your tax bracket. So right now, as you leave this room, you now understand you are in the 24 percentile tax bracket. Did you know your tax bracket before, Jared? Before just now? Did you know it? If you didn't know it, it's okay to say you didn't know it. The majority of people didn't. I didn't know mine until I got out of debt. I had not a clue. And that's okay. And that's okay to say that. You say that to yourself. Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be embarrassed about it. You say it. Now you do. Never forget it. So when somebody, I want you to understand this. If anybody ever asks you what's your tax bracket, understand that they know something that you need to know, not that you need to know. They're checking to see if you know something that you should know. Let's put it that way. That's what they're checking. That's why they're asking. Now, also, I want to show you something here. Let me show you something here one more time since we're on this. Now, I'm going to bring this back up here. Now, You see, I'm going to point out something so you can understand this. Right now, you're in the 24th percentile tax bracket. That doesn't mean your whole 105,000 is taxed at 24%. This is how it works. Starting from the top in the 10%, okay? Look at the top. The first $0 to $9,700 is taxed at 10%, okay? And then the next 9,701 up to 39,475 is taxed at 22% or 12%, excuse me, 12%. And then the next 39,476 up to 84,200 is taxed at 22%. And between, so if you did 105 minus 84,200, that's the amount of money. That's the only amount of money that's going to be taxed at 24%. It's not your whole amount. That's how it works. It works its way up. So if you maxed out your 401k and your HSA, you just dropped yourself out. None of your money will be taxed at 24%. None of it, because you're not up in the tax bracket. See how that works? I didn't know that until I got out of debt. Not a clue. Not a clue. So again, Jared, the 6% match is that's just the frosting on the cake. But the majority of people that are getting that right now, they have no idea. No, they think they're getting it. You cannot, it's mathematically impossible to invest negative dollars into anything. The government is the only place that can guarantee ROI to you. The government. Investing, they cannot. That's not return on investment. ROI is return on investment. For those of you that don't know, return on investment. The government is the only one that can guarantee you ROI that I know of today. As a regular employee, this gives you practice. Jared says, I was always taught just to put money in your savings, but you just dropped a lot of info that helped. That's just you know what? When people tell you that's just people, just what they know. I'm not saying not save money, but I'm trying to help you see what the majority don't see. This is what separates you from the majority, the 85% of people that are in the debt matrix. You have, like right now, Jared, you're 31. So you really you can't really understand what you've done right now at 31 by not having debt. And I'm gonna give you a better example of what you have done that you really don't understand the significance of it. There's $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. You're not part of that nonsense. There's trillions of dollars in car loan debt. You're not part of that. At least I didn't ask you about that. Excuse me, credit card debt. You're not part of that. I didn't ask you if you had a car loan or not. But if you do, there's trillions of dollars in car loan debt. Hopefully you're not part of that. This is so say, for example, like this, they say, like, when you hear on the internet, it says the average car payment is this. Okay. The average is made up of millions upon millions upon millions of people making the same financial decisions as one. No different than Star Trek's The Borg. They're all believing that everybody has car payments. That's $6,000 a year from millions of people. If you don't have a car note, you now make $6,000 more per year than the average. That's how that works. That's called phantom income. When people finance cars, they have no idea they're financing the taxes too. They're getting taxed twice and don't even know it. One they can see and one they can't see because it's phantom to them. That's why it's called phantom income. They have no money for the actual car. That means they don't have the money for the taxes either. So guess what? They're financing the taxes too. They don't know that. That goes for everything, everybody. That goes for anything that anybody finances. They're financing the taxes too. That alone, you'll be rich. Just this is without even discovering whatever your passion is. Because right now, what I'm teaching you guys right now, I didn't know this was going to be my passion. I didn't know that. I did not know this was going to be, I was going to do this until I was dead. I didn't know that. I don't want to retire. You know, now that I'm out, I'm almost 50. Of course, people are looking forward. I look at everything different now. Of course, people are looking forward towards retirement because they don't like what they do. When you find what you love, I don't want to ever retire. I don't want to ever retire. That's why I take care of my health, because this body, this vehicle that I'm in to walk earth, I need this to be healthy so I can walk around and do whatever I need to do. I need to travel to different things. You better believe I'm going to be going to schools. I already see that happening. I'm going to be going to schools. I thought it was going to be colleges. I didn't know it was going to be grade schools. Didn't know that. That's already coming. I hope you guys are paying attention. I can see that happening. This body needs to be in shape to be able to get around. What's good? What good is money if I'm overweight, unhealthy, not showing? Your body shows the world how you treat it. Your body shows the world how you feel inside. Exactly. So when people look at me, I want people to understand how I feel inside. They can look at me and see it. Fat Ghost says, my freedom number is under 2,700. Be cleared by next month. Credit Karma got me at 745 and 732. Almost ready for you, man. Almost ready for you, man. Hey, 2,700. Fat Ghost, be ready. I hope you're ready for a whole different life. You're going to speak. If you're down to 2,700, you're already speaking the language of debt free. You're already speaking it. And I know for a fact right now, when you become debt free, I'm probably the only one that's going to be actually genuinely happy for you. You won't be able to go out and tell people in the debt, hey man, check it out, just paid off all my debt. They won't understand a word you are saying. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? They have no idea what you're saying because they speak debt. You will now be able to filter through all the fakers, no matter what level you thought they were on. You will see that they're not easily. And they will have not a clue how you know, won't even have a clue. And Jared, when you go, check it out. When you go to invest outside of yourself, once you're done investing in all the vehicles that the government offers for you right now as a regular worker, because it's different when you get on the business side. There's even more. This is practice as yourself. You treat your personal finances as a business. This is practice. Once you're done with that, once you maxed out all the pre-tax options, whatever it does have to offer, you're going to start venturing out on your own to create your own business. You don't even have to know about investing into the stock market or whatever vehicle you choose, right? You will know how to pick the right investor. And this is how you'll know. Their credit report better look like yours. And I'm not talking about a credit score. I'm talking about the entire credit report. Your credit report has a whole bunch of zeros on it. No collections, no student loans, none of this stupid nonsense all over the place, owing this $1 here, $5 there, 500. You don't have any of that. It's on one page with a whole bunch of zeros. The person you choose to help you invest, their credit report better look like yours. If it doesn't, you better not invest with them. If you go choose a person to invest into the stock market, if you choose a person that's going to be your accountant, they better not have student loans older than their children. If they do, they're missing a major piece of the puzzle of the financial equation. Because if their finances if their finances start in the negative, Their whole life's financial equation is wrong. This is what math says. As you guys can see, I'm just, you know what? I'm just going all the way with what is on how I teach. I want you guys to see this grow. I want you guys to hear me make these claims, and each claim I make, which level I'm going to, who's gonna have me on the show. Because I'm looking. Actually, I'm looking. I feel like a prize fighter. I'm looking forward to people that want to contradict what I'm saying. You know, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm always going to win with mathematics. Always. People like Fat Ghost, he's like, man, I'm about to be free. You're $2,700 away from your freedom. You just bought your slave papers. You are no longer going to be a person going on vacation with debt. You're not just going to be a slave on vacation. You're not going to just be a slave driving a new car. You're not going to be a slave thinking you're free. Is a slave if they don't know they're a slave? See what I'm saying? Imagine, this is what I imagine when I think about grade school kids learning this information. And you parents, I want to thank you guys for steering your kids towards my channel, to my channel. This is what they'll never know. They'll never know what it was like. Like us, we grew up with the stupid terms. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think I made of money? Money is this. We need to make money. 40-hour work weeks. Working, being happy about getting overtime, being happy getting double time and a half on holidays. When you know in your mind you'd rather be spending that time with your children and your family, you justify it with getting double time and a half. Jared, Fat Ghost, I want you guys to pay attention to this. The foundation to wealth, this is what I do. This is what I do, okay? You guys will understand what I'm saying. I help create the foundation that wealth is built upon. How do I do this? I seal up the cracks in your foundation. Interest and taxes are the cracks in your foundation. I help you seal the cracks, and I show you how taxes can help you build wealth. When you're in debt, those are detrimental. You're right. Shop till you drop. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy nicer? Exactly. Now imagine the kids that will have this foundation since grade school. Nobody will understand them. They'll be so happy. They'll never have to feel what I felt most of my life and thought it was normal. And everybody knows this. Debt sits right on the top of your forehead. It's the first thing when you wake up. It's the last thing when you go to sleep. Sometimes it gets in your dreams. I'm going to pay this. I'm going to pay that. When you're debt free, you don't think about none of that. You barely even think about money. They'll never have that. They won't even date anybody that's in debt. I don't care how fine they are. I don't care how good the sex will be. It will not matter if they are in debt, because you'll know there's nothing like this freedom in the world, and you will never let anybody disturb it. You get across somebody that doesn't mind financing a $50,000 car when they make $30,000 a year, you'd be like, oh no, sorry. Mm-mm. If you don't know that, oh yeah, you're living in debt. You're swimming in debt for your life, the rest of your life. No, sir. There won't be none of that. Jared said, I thought about real estate for the future, but I saw your video about the 30K income buying the home. It's being promoted that mortgage debt is okay instead of paying cash. Exactly. That's why I do those videos, Jared. That's why I take their titles, because I know the majority of people don't understand money. The majority of people don't, that they really believe you can now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you're making 30K and you have no debt, okay, maybe it's a possibility. But if you're 30, you're making 30K and you're in debt and you thinking you can invest, no, you can't. That's not true. That's mathematically impossible. No, you can't. When I critique those videos, I'm not talking about the person in the video. I'm not saying that they're bad, they're dumb, stupid, rip off, scam artists. No, everything they're doing is legal. Everything they're saying is, yeah, it's correct. If you want to do that, yeah, go ahead. You can do it. Yeah. But I point out the things that don't make mathematical sense. They're mathematically incorrect. That's why when I critique those videos, I'm not wrong about anything. I would dare anybody that video that I critique come and say, "Oh, you're wrong." I would say, "Prove it," because I can prove mine. Those kids will never grow up feeling that pressure, man. Being fooled by these types of people, growing up thinking credit is you're not anything without a high credit score. Credit is just a tool. It's no different than a hammer, nail gun, lawnmower. Fat Ghost says the math is cool, but definitely needs some testimony stories to solidify your stance. Yeah, honestly, Fat Ghost, math solidifies my stance right now. I see what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. People like to hear other people, but don't get me wrong. This is what I want you to understand. Math solidifies it right now. I have a friend coming on tomorrow for you guys to know, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and I'll put out the notice. I have a friend that's going to come on my show for an interview tomorrow Tuesday. And so I can give you an idea of how we started. We've been friends since we worked together, and he was taking his step, and he saw me step out on my own, and then I helped guided him out here too. So now he's out here. So I'm going to interview him tomorrow for you guys to see. Fat Ghost says, I read a story yesterday about JP Morgan and then pushing subprime leases on black people. Scary story, man. This is what I want you to understand too, Fat Ghost. Remove debt is the colorblind slave master. Okay. It doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, Jewish, Chinese, Japanese. It doesn't care because all it sees is green. Saying that JP Morgan is just doing this to black people, that's a diversion. That is the obstacle to keep you from seeing the truth above that. See above that. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this: get to wealth first. Stop believing it's isolated to a group of people, a certain area. Stop believing that. Okay. Go above it and see that it's clearly has nothing to do that. Once you become wealthy, now, if you want to go back and see that those things are happening down below the level of wealth, you go ahead. Now you have real money to change that, to go in those areas and educate them with like what I'm teaching you guys here on this channel. You educate that group of people, say, hey, check it out. Don't fall for that. Do this, 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 this. And then they become wealthy too. There's plenty of room over here. I think the majority of people that say things like that are the people in debt. Oh, they're doing this to black people. If they just decide to use mathematics, they couldn't do it to anybody, black or white or whatever. Hey, JP Morgan says, hey, take this subprime lease. And then you do the math, you'd be like, ooh, that's a bad deal. I'm not doing that. Then you just don't do it. Straight up. Nobody's JP Morgan is not tricking anybody. All you got to do is do the math. They're not tricking anybody. JP Morgan couldn't trick me. Hey, Linnell, check out this subprime mortgage. I'll be like, oh, that's subprime. I'm not doing that. Subprime means below prime. I'm not doing anything below prime. Nope, keep it. Jared said, that's true. My ex had $100,000 in student loans and stated that she would never pay it off. She owed $5,000 credit card debt and wanted marriage. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Jared? She already told you that she's never going to pay off $100,000 in student loan debt. She's never going to pay it off. She's already telling you without even knowing it, Jared. She's already telling you that she has accepted of being a slave for her entire life. Just these two things alone, the cost of her slave papers are $105,000. And the crazy part is $5,000 can be wiped away with bankruptcy. Student loans cannot. Student loans can't. You can go up to a person with student loan debt and say, "Hey, check it out. You know, if you don't pay off your student loan debt, you're going to die with it." They won't even be scared. They won't. And you got to ask yourself. I mean, you can do this test yourself. Say, "Hey, man, you ever going to pay off your student loan debt?" They'll tell you no right to your face. Nope, nah, I ain't going to do that. And then say to them, "Hey, you know, if you don't pay it off, you're going to die with it." They still won't be scared. That's a true slave. They've accepted of being a slave. Slavery's not dead. People think, and this is why I'm saying this, Fat Ghost you're listening to. That's why slavery, with the majority of black people have student loan debt, $1.6 trillion of student loan debt. That's everybody, every race. It doesn't matter. You got to break out of that mindset, believing that it's isolated to some sort of group. The wealthy don't believe they don't think like that. It's everybody. Everybody's part of the system. That's how it works. The majority of people must remain in debt for this to work. Believe whatever they want to believe, whatever, doesn't matter. When math will clearly show color has nothing to do with it. It's just mathematics. NC Briggs says, I hate debt. I hate the debt I'm in, and I'm almost 36. I need to get my slave papers. You need to pay for your slave papers, man. NC Briggs, let me tell you something, man. Believe it or not, by you even saying this right now, because I know you saying it doesn't feel like, okay, I'm not doing anything about it, but you don't understand. It starts right here. It starts you with waking up saying, I hate this. That's how I woke up. I woke up by saying out loud in my car, if somebody was walking by my car that day, they would have swore I was a crazy man talking to myself in the car. And this is what I said to myself. One day I came home from work, pull up to the gym parking lot, like I did every single day. Not every day. I didn't go to the gym every day, but the majority of the time I did. Right after work, I drove straight to the gym, parked, got out, but this day I sat in my car. And I was looking at the gym and I was thinking, am I going to do this until I'm 65? Go to the gym, few hours, go home, cook myself something to eat, and go to bed and start the whole process over the next day. And I'm going to do that all the way to age 65? Cross my fingers and hope, even though I had weekends off, cross my fingers and hope that it was not raining or at least sunny those 2 days, those 2 days out of the week. Looking forward to Fridays, not even realizing why I was looking forward to Fridays and why I was dreading Mondays, because I hated my job. Driving in traffic, but believing that I had no choice to be in the traffic, totally forgetting that the very reason why I was in that traffic because of the freaking car I was in, because I was making car payments. Trapped in the very coffin in traffic that's keeping me there, and wonder why I'm there. It makes when I think about it today, that makes absolutely no sense. Everything is so obvious. It's so obvious. Jared, that example that you just said about your ex, man, trust me, man, that's going to help you filter through a lot. You can, when you start to date, you just watch their spending, just watch the way they talk about money. Because remember, you're not in debt. So they don't understand the language of debt free exists. They don't know it exists. Okay. That will be always be, I want to call it a weapon, but it's not really a weapon because a weapon means it's trying to hurt somebody. You just learn a different, no, that'll be your new language that many cannot speak. You can't fake something that you don't know exists. Okay. So just listen to the way they speak about money. Watch the way they see if they're financing their phone and got car payments and student loan payments. And then on top of that, right, they start talking about investing in the stock market like they're smart or something. They have no idea they're investing with negative dollars. That's impossible. And you got to think to yourself, how come they believe they can invest in with negative dollars? I don't know. Math will clearly show them that they don't, but they do. They believe it. They believe they're getting a 6% match on their retirement when they're not investing anything. I kept my slave papers, NC Briggs, I kept my slave papers for 40 years before I woke up. 40 years, man. And everybody in their mind, I believe everybody knows what they would love to be doing for a living and it wouldn't even feel like work. Everybody knows that. Everybody has that feeling in the back of their brain. Man, I would love to be doing this. But what's the first thing that stops that dream from coming to fruition? Debt. Oh man, I would love to be doing that, but that's not going to make me enough money to sustain my lifestyle. Exactly. That's why you're not doing it, because you're in debt. Debt is your master. I had no idea I was going to reach this many people. Not a clue. I'm not even big. I'm not even close to being big yet. After this one, I'm gonna do a critique of a video for you guys, so you guys can understand why this is so easy for me. We're gonna do it together, and I'm gonna stop it so you guys can see what I see, what it's like to live over here, as far as a debt-free man, man, woman. It doesn't matter. You guys can, if you've been in debt all your life, hey, debt-free exists. Especially in 30. NC Briggs 36 is young, man. That's young to be waking up. I didn't wake up till 40. Look at it this way. You woke up 4 years, 5 years before me, because it was really around 41, 42, to be honest. Straight up. Birth of a Cool 82. It took me about 2 years, but I went extreme. Once I woke up and realized it was just mathematics, I moved out of my fancy high-rise apartment, sold everything, sold my Lexus, sold my furniture, sold all this stuff that I had, and moved into my sister's house in a room. People thought I was on drugs, smoking crack. What's up with LJ? He's on heroin. He's the engineer making all this money, but he lives with his sister. I don't care what you people in debt think. Once you understand, once you realize it's just mathematics, and that was the only thing keeping me from becoming a millionaire, I got straight out of debt. How are you going to become a millionaire when you're in debt? That's mathematically impossible. You got to, the people in the debt matrix are going to say all kind of things to you when you're on your way out of debt. Why'd you go from a Cadillac Escalade to a Honda Accord? Something must be wrong with you. Your credit must be bad. They'll think of everything under the sun to talk about your money. You have to ignore them. They have no idea what they're saying. They're just talking. They're just talking. They don't know. Like I always say, I got a friend now, been keeping a student loan for like 15 years. Every time we discuss it, he gets mad at me. I'll be like, what are you mad at me for? So now we don't even talk about what I do. We don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it. You will lose. Uh, if you, I say like this, if once you become debt free and you got friends that live in the debt matrix, you cannot talk about it with them because they will think you're trying to talk about them in a negative way. When you're just trying to, when you're trying to show them something about mathematics and all that stuff, they won't know. If you want them to remain in your life, you must remain quiet. They have no idea what you're saying. Jared says, my friends are taking $1,200 stock trader boot camps in hopes to get quicker returns but they all have debt. You see how it works, Jared? They believe that something outside of them is going to change their financial situation. That's why they're buying the boot camps. They don't know they just put themselves $1,200 deeper in debt. They have no idea. In hopes of somehow succeeding after this boot camp. Not even saying, and I'm not even saying that the boot camp, I'm not even talking about the boot camp. I don't know if, hey, the boot camp might show them something that they don't know. But if they don't know the basics, you got to just, this is how you can ask your friends. You say, hey, man, if your finances were your business today, would you still be in business? And if their finances are in the negative, the answer is no. You can't be in business being a negative. You'll be out of business. You got to start with the business of you first. You. Once you get your finances, the business of you straight and above and in the black, nothing can stop you from becoming a multi-gazillionaire. Nothing. When you have money, you buy everything for half the price from the people in the debt matrix. Why? Because they are broke. They have no money. It doesn't matter if they know they have money or not. It doesn't matter. You want that nice, I'm not saying don't get a nice, say like you want a Escalade or whatever, right? I'm just saying pay for it half the price. You say, okay, hey, they're selling the Escalade for 40,000. You come up them with 25, 30, they'll take it. It counts on their financial detriment at that time. Maybe they lost their job, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you have money, you spend less. When you have money, you're not at a debt, you earn phantom income. Phantom income is real. I promise you. Doesn't matter if they believe, they can't see it. That's why it's phantom to them. Phantom income comes in many forms. Many. Anything you don't pay that the majority do pay is money in your pocket. Here's an example. If the average phone bill is $100 a month, cell phone bill, and I pay 20 for the exact same service, I now make 80 more dollars per month than the average. That's real. Just sit back and watch your friends, Jared. Just be quiet though, man. You can't say anything. It's going to be hard to watch them. It's going to be hard to watch them. And you know they're digging themselves deeper and deeper in the hole, and you can't do anything or say anything about it. But the best way I can say this is to do this. They will see how happy and carefree you are. They will see, like, what if one day you're at a job and they decide to lay off people, right? And they're closing down the business, and they're going to see you don't really care. Oh, okay, whatever. It's time for me to find another job then. And you're taking your time, 1 or 2 months to find another job. You don't need to find one right away in a few weeks. You could take a couple months off looking for a job. They're going to wonder, how come Jared can do that? He's not even tripping that he just lost his job. Then they will start asking you questions. Because to people in the debt matrix, that's not normal. You lose your job, you're in trouble in 1 month, not you. You're taking your time trying to find a job, a place that you want to work at, not that you have to work at. That's the difference. These are great questions, man. I'm glad. Jared, NC Briggs, Ghost, I'm happy for you guys, man. Whenever you're ready, hey, NC Briggs, I can give you the plan. I can help you skip a whole bunch of steps. Prove everything that I'm saying to you. I can prove it to you. When you're ready, you just got to take the plunge, man, and be like, okay, let me get with LJ. He's gonna create me a plan. I sure will. I guarantee it. I'll create a plan for you. Guaranteed. You'll never go back ever. You'll never go back. I'm never going back. Once you taste this freedom, you will never, ever, ever go back. There is no going back. Once you see once I've tasted how life truly is supposed to be, my whole world has changed. It has changed. When if you've never had a person in your life, I've never had a person in my life come up to me and say, "Hey, LJ, you've changed my life." Have you ever had somebody come up to you and say that to you? "Hey, man, you've changed my life." I've never expected that in a million years. Didn't even think about it really until it happens, and you're like, "Oh my God." Because people don't say that they don't say that normally. How many people have you walked up to and say, "Hey, man, you've changed my life"? I've never said that to anybody. I mean, I've said it I mean, I've seen it on videos and say, "Hey, this person's changed," but I never actually walked up to a person and say, I mean, like if I come up to Dave Ramsey, I'll say that to Dave Ramsey. But when I hear that from you guys, from the followers, "Hey, LJ, you've changed my life," man, that means the world to me because I know that that's not normal. That normal people just say that. They say that because they mean it. You don't say that accidentally to somebody. "Oops, oh man, I didn't mean to say that to you. I didn't mean to tell you that you changed." That doesn't happen. That doesn't accidentally happen. Cheers Player says, "I used to think of investing instead of debt. I used to think of investing instead of debt, but now I think of paying off my debt as an investment because it is. It's an investment in you, the business of you." Nobody ever told me that. Nobody ever. I wish somebody would have. Now, I'm a computer engineer and I'm a logical thinker. If somebody would have came up to me and said, "Hey, Linnell, if your finances were a business, would you still be in business?" I would have had to say no. I would have had to say no. And then I would have walked away thinking, wait a minute, why am I saying no? It's just mathematics. How do I change that to a yes? Get out of debt. Cheers Player says, if I have credit card debt of 5K and payments of $50, if I invest 5K into that debt, I'll make $50 a month for the rest of my life. Exactly. That's called phantom income. All you got to do is Google this. Google credit card debt. It's in the trillions. It's in the trillions. Pay off 50K, that's $50 a month that you will no longer be paying. That's called phantom, that the majority of people in the US are still paying. You're not. So that's $50 a month extra in your account that people in debt are being taken out of their account, but not yours. You won't even think about money, chess players. You won't even think about it. Jared says, "You're right, LJ. They are scratching their heads to why I picked up a second job. The second job is to put my my rent money back in my pocket. Exactly. See what I'm saying? Your friends are probably thinking, oh man, Jared's having hard times. He had to pick up a second job. No, that's what they just got to think. They just got to think. That's just what they think. They have no idea why you're doing it, Jared. And I guarantee you, once you said you're out of debt. You're just building faster. You're doing this because you want to do it. You're not doing it because you have to do it. At 31, your money's going to stack so fast. Max out, check it out, Jared. Max out that 401k and that HSA, or you're gonna, oh man, you're gonna see your money stack so fast. I know it doesn't sound like it is because nobody probably ever told you to look at taxes the way I'm telling you to look at taxes. But the government's the only one that can take off, that can say, hey man, you put in 19.5 in this, we'll take 19.5 off of your annual income. That's like double dipping. You get to put 19.5 away in your retirement, and you get to take 19.5 off your annual taxes. That's guaranteed ROI, double dipping phantom income. That's like frosting with double frosting and cake, and then another layer of frosting with the 6% on top of that. You're just killing it. People in debt can't see that. They wouldn't even see it if you told them. They wouldn't even see it. Your friends, tell your friends what you're doing. Tell your friends, hey man, why are you going to make? They couldn't even afford. I guarantee you. Better yet, do this. Do this. Do this, Jared. Ask your coworkers, hey man, are you maxing out your 401k? Guarantee you, they will all say, oh man, I'm matching out the 6%. They believe they believe maxing out is maxing out the 6% match. No. No. That's what everybody can see. You say, oh no, man, I mean maxing out the $19,000. They're going to look at you like you are crazy because they're in debt. They cannot. You can. You're gonna be so free, man. Oh my! I mean, you're already free. You don't even realize that by you just being at zero, or I mean, I'm just saying this is your debt free. Having a net worth of zero is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. If you tell somebody in the debt matrix, check this out, Jared. If you go up to your friends and tell them, "Hey, man, I have a net worth of zero," they're gonna think you're broke. Even though they are in debt, they're going to think you are broke if you said you had a net worth of zero. And then I want you to think to yourself, if you ever happen to ask that question, I want you to think to yourself, how did LJ know that? Because I believe in math. That's it. That's it. B Mays says, paying my invoice on Friday. Thank you for being patient. Hey, B Mays, I'm gonna tell you something, man. First of all, I want to thank you for trusting me to even reach out to me. That you trust me with your finances, trust me that I'm gonna steer you in the right direction. Once I got off the phone, I'm not rushing you to do anything. This is for you. I'm already free. I'm just showing you. So when people come to me, this is the difference between and I want you to, and I'm not only talking to you, Jerry. I'm talking, B Mays. I'm talking to everybody, but once you become free and you start to own your own, so like you're going to naturally start to think about creating your own business, because you're going to realize the only way you're going to be truly free is working for yourself. That's the only way you can do it. Okay. That's the only way you're going to be able to legally not pay taxes. Legally. Tax brackets won't even matter to you anymore. Tax brackets don't apply to the wealthy. It doesn't matter. Once you're free, man, there's nothing like it. This is for you, man. Once you get out and create your own business, you'll realize it's not just about selling. It's about getting people to trust you. You got to get, you know what? You can have the best product on the market. If people don't trust you, they're not going to buy it. That's the mistake I made when I first got out on my own. I was trying to say, oh man, buy this, buy that, buy this. They don't know who I am. They don't trust me. Who cares if it's good, if it's excellent or not? They don't trust me. You must get people to trust you first, and then they'll buy from you. And when I say create your own business and legally not pay taxes again, I'll give you an example so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Say like you had a product that you're selling, okay? Whatever it's the sale of that product, you had to pay taxes on it. And then when you sell it, you got to pay taxes on it, right? You include the tax you would normally pay inside the sales price. And guess what? Voila, you never pay taxes again legally. Whatever that tax is, you include it into the price. Voila, you never pay taxes again. Anybody doing your taxes right now, you don't even have to know about taxes, okay? You don't even have to know about them. But when you got somebody doing your taxes and it sounds like they're not doing something right or completely legal, you better stop using them immediately. They're telling you about their own personal finances when they're talking about cheating, start talking about slight sort of kind of tax evasion. You better stop using them immediately. There's absolutely no reason to cheat on your taxes. There's plenty for everybody on this side. Thank you, Nicer. Thank you. People like Nicer, she created the SMD family. When people see the passion, they just naturally contribute and say, hey, this is what can make it better because it's for everybody. Everybody benefits from this. You guys get out of debt, we'll all be rich. You guys will see how easy it is to do it. I'm showing you guys how easy this is. And all you got to do is believe in mathematics. That's it. And you'll be rich. That's the difference between the wealthy and the not wealthy. The wealthy believe in mathematics. That's it. It's not a secret. You can tell people to their face, hey man, if you keep financing that car, you're never going to have any money. They will look at you like you're crazy. That's why the wealthy are wealthy. NC Briggs says, my friend told there is no point in paying off debt. It's better to spend time with my kids, but I don't want to leave my family in debt. My friend told there is no point in paying off debt. It's better to spend. See, that doesn't even make sense what they're saying. If you're in debt, that means you have to work a lot of hours. So you're not spending any time with your kids. See, when people in debt speak, they have no idea what they're saying. They have no clue what they're saying. They're just saying, oh man, I'm not going to pay off debt. I'd rather spend time with my kids. Well, if you got debt, that means you got to put in 40 plus hours a week. So you have no time to spend time with your kids. What are you talking about? When you have no debt, you can spend as much time as you want with your children. And people say, leave your family in debt. Nah, no, you won't. You get out of debt. Your whole mindset changes. I don't even know how to explain it sometimes. I be trying my best to explain it to you guys what debt freedom it feels like. It's very difficult to explain because I've never been out of debt until just recently. B May says, I'll be out of debt next week. I already got my small business in mind. Exactly. See what I'm saying, man? It naturally starts to happen once you get out of debt and you start to realize, oh crap, it's that easy to become a multimillionaire. Yes. You'll no longer be fooled by people and their scams, or not even, yes, there's scams out there, but there are legitimately Legitimately, there are people out there giving bad information based on debt. They're speaking debt. People with student loans that are older than their children are giving financial advice to millions. People with student loans older than their children are giving out financial advice, and people are paying them for it because they don't know. Nobody ever thinks to say, hey, man, before I take financial advice from you, can I see your personal credit report? That's all you got to do. B. Mays says, I trust you because of your passion. Thank you, B. Mays. And that's exactly why I do this. I want people to see that I'm passionate about this. Of course, it's a business. Of course, I'm making money from it. But number one is passion. I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. I want you guys to hear that I can prove everything I'm saying. Everything. I'm not just saying it, I'm proving it. And I keep reiterating this because this is very important for you adults. I want you to pay attention to how many kids are jumping on my channel and relating to me. The reason why they can relate to me is because I'm just using the math they have just learned in class. I'm just using the math they just learned in class. By the time they're 18, 20, like if they took what I've learned today, right, and say like they get to college and they don't have any money, right, and then they have to get college loans. If they learn if they listen to what I'm saying, they'll get the college loans. They'll go to college for a job that's relevant in the workplace that they know they're going to make a large amount of money. And guess what? And when they land that good job and they pay their student loans off right away, right out of college, they will be catapulted financially ahead of all the 45 million people, $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. They will be immediately catapulted ahead of them financially. Immediately. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning. Man, had I known this. But I'm glad, B Mays, man. I appreciate that, man. I want you to understand that I appreciate that. And even though our call was a while ago, I wasn't thinking, oh man, he wasn't coming. No, I don't even think that way. Once I hang up, that's it. I don't think about it again. I'm not saying I don't think I'm not in debt, so I don't be like, man, I hope he comes through and pays this in. I don't think you won't think like that. This is when you're out of debt and you create your own business, you won't even think like that. You'll just be strictly concentrating on your passion, because your passion, money is a byproduct of your passion. People will see your passion and then they will naturally pay your cost of which, because they'll know you're for real. You're not faking. Thank you, Mars. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I am 50 today. Yes. For those of you who don't know, I turned 50 today. 50 is not old. 50 is what you make it to be. Yeah, I'm not using a walker with 2 tennis balls on the front. That's a myth. It's not true. 50 will be what you want it to be. Thank you, Chiz Players. Appreciate it. 50 is what you want it to be. And yes, that's me in the picture, right in the center. That's me. Now, don't get me wrong. In that picture, that's my summer body. Okay. In the winter, I'm not as quite as sliced up, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way. But I don't let myself get over. I don't go overweight. But I'm saying that's my summer. That's my summer look. Okay. I love my life. I love where I'm at. And you know what the crazy part is, guys? When you guys get out here on your own, I have no idea when or where this is going to go. I have no idea. No idea. It will say, I still have all my teeth. Yes, I take very good. I take very good care of my teeth. I do. I do. I floss. I use a water pick. I do. I've teeth are my thing. Okay, and you don't have to lose them. People think, oh man, you're gonna lose your teeth. No, not if you don't want to. You just got to take care of them. I have all my teeth. I do. Well, no, I don't have all. I had one taken out in the very back, so I don't have all. I have one taken out. So, but other than that, I mean, you can't see it. It's way in the back, right? If you've never been financially free, you guys, I'm telling you guys what it's like on the other side of debt. Cheers Player says debt free keeps you young because it's way less stress. Exactly. Hey, Cheers Players, I have no stress. I have no stress. None. Nobody outside of me can cause me stress because I could just say, you're not my life anymore, or you better stop doing that, else you won't be. I mean, what I had to do was I had to eliminate what I could control and work on what I couldn't. So if there was people outside of me causing me stress, I can just cut them off because I have control to either let them in or let them out. But when on the inside of my life, debt was causing me stress, so I had to do something about it. How do I do it? By getting out of debt. The simplest way I can help, I can tell people what I do for a living, because people always ask that. What do you do? I help people get out of debt. I help people become wealthy. And they ask, how do you do that? By helping them recognize that they are in debt. People in a debt matrix, they don't know they're in debt. I know isn't that sound crazy? Doesn't that sound crazy? People in debt, in the debt matrix, they don't know they're in debt. That's how you start to get out of debt. That's how you become wealthy. Forget rich, because rich means a lot of things. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Big 5-0 today. And I wouldn't have anything less than that, man. I'm glad I'm where I'm at 50. Thank God I am where I'm at 50. Man, it's just, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Nothing will bother you guys anymore. Nothing bothers me. People's stuff doesn't impress me. I don't care what kind of car, house, watch. I don't care what I see on Instagram or Facebook, people going on vacation. That means nothing to me. I mean, it's nice to look at the pictures and see where they went, but do I act as if I'm jealous because they're doing it and I'm not? No, sir. I don't think about any of that because I have no idea how they're paying for it. Not a clue. Not a clue. I have not a clue how they're paying for it. Thank you, Nicer. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. SMD family, thank you. I don't have a clue how they're paying for it. So who cares? Can you imagine how many people going to take 2 years to pay for a 1-week vacation somewhere? People do that all the time. They'll charge it. They'll charge it and pay 2 years on that credit card. 2 years for a 1-week vacation? Not doing any of that. Sorry. Thank you, Ill Wills. Ill Will's my future manager, future book writer. He just doesn't know it yet. Ah. E-Man says, LJ, you convinced me a lot. You convinced me a lot that a lot of people are pretending to be rich in the debt matrix. Exactly, E-Man. There's a lot of pretenders, and E-Man, this is what you got to realize. This is what you got to really understand. They don't know that they are pretending. I know it's weird to say it, but they don't know that we know that they are pretending. They don't know that we know, because they're fooling everybody else in the debt matrix. They're just fooling people in the debt matrix. They're not fooling. And I want you guys to understand this, okay? Don't believe that I'm special. There are many other people that think like I do. They're just far and few in between. The number one cage that would keep me in a cage right now, if I thought I was the only one that thought the way I do. I don't think like that. I'm just finding more people that do think like me, that are way advanced than me in this debt-free money game. I'm trying to get to them. I'm trying to make them hear me. That's why I chose YouTube. YouTube is the biggest, largest social media platform today. It's the biggest. That's why I chose it. Thank you, Snuggles. Appreciate it. I don't know why you're shaking your head, Ill Wills. You know what I mean? You know it's true. Thank you, Snuggles. Appreciate it. E-Man, back to you real quick. The reason why you notice that is because you now are speaking or starting to speak or whatever. I don't know what level you're at, but speaking debt free. That's why you can see that they're pretending. They don't know that you can see them. They don't know. And it doesn't matter who they are. They could be a doctor, lawyer, successful business owner, you know, person driving a brand new Mercedes. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Accountant. Doesn't matter. If they're in debt, they live in a debt matrix, period. There is no other nothing. I can't wait till I'm inside of a grade school, man. I'm gonna make sure I get this live if I can. I don't know all the stipulations on that, but when I am in there, I want you guys to see. Because just yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? Probably yesterday. The kid, Martha, she was telling me she was in the 5th grade, right? And she said she had 10 of her friends listening to her in her class. 10? In 5th grade? Talking about money? I wasn't thinking about money in the 5th grade. I was thinking about recess. I was thinking about dodgeball, tearing somebody up with that big red ball that made that loud sound when it hit somebody. That's what I was thinking about in 5th grade. Believe that. Money? Mm-mm. Ill Will says stress is the silent killer. I try to chill out as much as I can, not to go cipher. Much as I can, not to go cipher or hyper. Excuse me, hyper. Get so hyper. Excuse me. You are winning, brother. Never forget that. You are stressed and debt free. People would pay $2. Pay $2. Pay money to be you. Okay, man. You keep slicing that up. You know I'm old, man. I gotta get hip. I know what you meant, Ill Wills, man. I appreciate you too, man. Ill Wills found me early too. He saw the passion in me early. And I'm telling you guys, once you find your passion, Other people that can relate to you will see it too, and they'll let you know. There's nothing to be shy about. Hey, man, this person got passion. Nicer says Warren Buffett is still living in the same house in his hometown of Omaha. Not a mansion in the hills, but a house. Exactly. He understands whatever you believe is to be your comfort place, luxury, rich, whatever you want it to be. It is that. You don't need all that other stuff. It's not even. Are you comfortable coming home into your house and it is your home? Hey, that's it. E-Man says, yes, debt-free is my number one goal. Minimal stress, happy life. The best way I can tell you, E-Man, I never have stress. And sometimes I think about the stresses. Sometimes a stress will pop up. Don't get me wrong. It'll seem like a stress. But when I look at the bigger picture of how many things have transpired, all the good things that have happened in my life, and this one thing comes up, the negative thing seems, if you let it, it will overshadow all the good things that have happened up to this point, right? But if you always remember that one negative thing is only temporary, it doesn't overshadow all the good things. It doesn't do it. It's just a temporary thing to throw you off. Once you come out of it and realize that this one thing is just temporary, you'll never let that kind of stuff happen. You won't. You'll recognize it for what it is. Even if it overwhelms you, you just keep saying over and over in your head that it's temporary. It's temporary. It'll go away. It's temporary. It's temporary. And just like that, it'll vanish. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal financial educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside the debt matrix. What is the debt matrix, you might be asking? You want to find out if you're in it? Add up all your savings and then add up all your debt. You can do this in your head, whatever number that is, whatever. You can just get it. You can just estimate. Everybody can. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If that number is in the negative, you live in the debt matrix. You're a slave. You're a slave to the system because you're on the wrong side of the system. The system is feelingless. The system's not good, bad. It's not any of that. It's just the system, period. Which side of it is totally up to you. The bad side or the good side, the money-making side. Consumer side, that's the negative. The positive side is the business side. And when I say positive, negative, I'm only talking about numbers. Not feelings. I'm talking about numbers. Ill Will says, when my desk phone rings, I feel my blood pressure going up. I'm not joking. I'm truly planning my exit strategy. It's not lying to you. People don't even pay attention to that, Ill Wills. They don't even pay attention to that. That is actually real. If you know your blood pressure goes up when that phone rings, that's telling you something. Don't get me wrong, Ill Wills. That's hard. It's a scary place to. Let me tell you this, Ill Wills, because I know you'll understand this. Let me explain something to you. And I know you understand the universe and believe in what is real. Okay, check it out. There are different levels of vibrational energy. Okay. Energy cannot be faked. You can't pretend to give out a certain type of energy out into the universe and think the universe is going to be fooled by you faking it, right? So when I quit my job to take this plunge, I guarantee you right at that moment, a certain vibrational level of energy I moved into. I moved into a different level of vibration because I did it. So that level of vibration is there. It's not faked. I really quit my job. I didn't have a job. I'm really going out here to live my passion. That's real. So naturally, I'm going to attract to me the level of energy that will take me to catapult me into billionaire status. You have to do it in order to reach this level of vibration. So in order to reach that level of vibration, you must remove all the things keeping you from reaching that level of vibration. You know, it's no different than, say, like you're in a relationship and one person's messing around behind the other one's back, and then you wonder why your current relationship is not moving to the next level because you're on the wrong vibration. You're fooling around. Even though the person in the relationship doesn't know about the other person, the only person that needs to know you're doing it is you. You know you're doing it. That's why your vibration is staying at the level it's staying at. So when you finally take the step and say, hey, man, I'm doing this, I'm getting out of debt, I promise you guys, once you're out of debt, your whole vibration level changes to the next level. How do I know this? I know this for a fact because once you get out of debt, you speak debt free. And then when you speak debt free to a person in debt, they have no idea what you're saying. That's how you know you reach the next level, because you'll look at them and say, wow, I'm just speaking math to them. How come they don't understand it? Because they're on a different vibrational level. They don't know. That's how I know. NC Briggs says, LJ, two guys at work just financed their cars. One traded in a good car for a Cadillac. I was in fear for them, told one of them to take it back. They said, if you go into debt, you should at least get what you want. Did you hear all that debt talk in that statement you made that you heard from them? All debt talk. NC Briggs, they have no idea what they're saying to you. They're trying to justify going into debt. If you're going to go into debt, you might as well get what you want. What? Okay, hold up. I might as well be a slave driving a Cadillac? Those chains are going to ruin the leather. They're going to scratch up the steering wheel. Every time he reaches over there to put the car in gear, it's going to scratch up the nice wood on the side. All those chains and shackles are going to mess up his whole car. And hey, that's cool, man. That's cool as long as I got a Cadillac. What about your shackles? What if one of your shackles down by your ankle gets caught up on the brake pedal and then you can't stop the car? Then what? What are you going to do? Getting in and out of the car, clickety clacking, ching ching, your shackles dragging across the cement as you walk into your building, into your cubicle. But then again, once you walk into work, the majority of the people making the same sound, so they don't really recognize the shackle sounds anymore. They just go, okay, this is just what it is. That's what you think. You're already seeing, NC Briggs. You're already seeing what's happening. They don't care. But NC Briggs, you must understand this. Once you're out of the debt matrix, you will see that is a necessary evil for this whole system to work. In order for us to remain free on this side, in order for us to remain wealthy, in order to make unlimited amounts of money, the majority of people must remain in debt and not know it. They must remain there. If they believe they're investing, because check this out. I'm gonna give you guys, let me give you guys an example of what is, okay? So you can get it. If somebody in debt is investing, say, in Bitcoin or some kind of investment in the stock market, and they're in debt, let me tell you what's happening. If they're in debt, that means they have no money. and say like they're investing in Apple stock, right? Let's just, we're going to make it nice round numbers so you guys can follow me. Say like they want to buy some Apple stock for $1,000, right? If their finances are in a negative, they have no money to invest that $1,000. They have no money. So in order to invest $1,000 into Apple, guess what they have to do? They have to borrow the money. They're indirectly investing for the bank, and they don't even know it. So now the bank cannot lose with their investment. So if they invest and mess up on the investment, they still owe the bank. If they invest the bank's money and win, they're not going to pay off their debt. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to invest even more. That's just how people in debt think. They don't say, oh, I'm investing, I'm making money, now I'm going to pay off my debt. People in debt don't think like that. They say, oh, man, I'm going to flip that. And then they invest the additional money. Then they take that. This is where they start talking about compound interest and everything like this. You cannot compound negative debt. But they don't know that. So they make some more money and then they reinvest. The only thing they're doing is reinvesting for the bank because they're still paying the bank, baby. Still paying the bank. Ill Will says they think debt is like Burger King, have it your way. LOL. You can have it your way, but you'll be miserable. Sure will. Sure will. Sure will. Nisha says facts about vibrations. People say that to me all the time, how they gravitate towards me. Still puzzles me because I'm just a little native that grew up in the public housing. Exactly. Me too. I grew up I grew up in the public housing in a place in Seattle. It was called Rainier Vista. It's all gone now. It's tore down. And all my life, all my life, ever since grade school, I always wondered why people always gravitated towards me. I always wondered that. I was like, why does everybody want to know what I'm doing? Who's my girlfriend? Where I'm going? Well, I'm like, I don't think that way because there's something there. Recognize it. Recognize there's a reason. There's something in you that people can see. You have to see it. Everybody has something. Ill Will says black tourmaline crystal. Man, you using these big words on me, man. I got to look that up. I got to Google that word, writer. I keep mine to absorb negative energy and stress around me. Exactly. You know what, Ill Wills, I'm just now getting into the crystals because I see it all the time, but I'm just now understanding it. Omega Dread says, Gaming Channel says, oh, we owe her. Oh, what? I'm not sure what you're meaning, man. China will have America and Africa stuck in debt. I'm not sure what you mean by that either, man. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Omega Dreads. Oh, okay. Ill Will says, yeah, buddy put me on. Okay, yeah, I see. You know what? Like I said, I listen to a lot of I follow a lot of people on Instagram that understand the spirituality and universe stuff, right? And they talk a lot about crystals. And I haven't done it, tried it yet. But hey, if people are doing it, I try it at least once, so I can see the difference. And if you said, especially Ill Will saying it, because I trust you, you trust me, man, I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna try it. Nicer says the Ill Wills, I don't use crystals. I don't use any crystals, just do a lot of meditation and set up solid boundaries. And that's what I do, Nicer. Every morning, before I even check my email, check my YouTube, check anything, I sit down in front of my kitchen window, and I thank the universe for where I'm at today. Thank the universe for everything it has brought to me. It's that universe gets thanks first because I'm here. I'm here talking to you guys. Here I am for 2 hours just talking. It feels like 5 minutes. Straight up. 5 minutes. Ill Wills, it says, Ill Will says, I was a skeptic, but I was like, it can't hurt. You know what? And this is the crazy thing about this, Ill Wills. When you take this plunge, okay, because you can't get to, and I'm saying it so you understand how it works, Ill Wills. You can't fake this level of vibration because you must do it in order to emit this type of vibration. You have to actually believe in something that you can't see, taste, smell, uh, whatever the five senses are, right? You can't do any of that. You can't say, there it is right there and it's green, or it smells like this, or you can't drive to it and say it's there. You can't. Omega Dread says NAFTA put many into economic. Omega Dreads, nobody can do anything to anybody. Nobody can do anything to anybody. NAFTA didn't put me into economic death. How come they put everybody else into economic death? They didn't do that to me. It's just mathematics, Omega Dreads. Nobody can, if you just use math, anybody approaches you with anything financial, any kind of investment, all you got to do is break out your calculator and see if they're telling you the truth or not. It's not really that difficult. If you break the habit of thinking somebody else is doing something preventing you from becoming wealthy, you break that habit and you'll be rich. Stop thinking that somebody else is doing something that's causing you from becoming rich. Nobody does that. Nobody. Nisa says Julia Childs got a black grandma on her show frying chicken and biscuits. I gotta go MIA for a bit. Ill Will says, I'm analytical, but then I realized step out of the comfort zone. Exactly. And I haven't looked back ever since. I need to more involved with reading on the crystals. Exactly. It's just, you know what? We're logical thinkers. That's cool, man. I know what you're saying. We're logical thinkers, but you got to break out of you got to not break out of the logical thinking, but you got to still think logically as far as the universe, right? You got to think like this. You can have a seed in your hand, right? You have no idea what that seed is going to turn into until you plant it into the ground. You don't know if it's going to be a carrot, watermelon, peas. You don't know, but think about it. You take this seed that you can just set on top of the counter, right? It's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there forever. But the minute you put it in dirt, it somehow knows it's dirt that you just put it in, and it's going to grow into the carrot or wheat or corn or whatever. How does it know that? That seed is not, it doesn't have a beating heartbeat inside that seed. It's not moving. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. But somehow it knows when you put it in dirt inside the earth, it knows to turn into something else. How does it know that? That's another way of logically thinking. See what I'm saying? The only thing I can say to you, Omega Dreads, is that I don't think that way. In my world, that's not true. None of that is true. Debt is the colorblind slave master. It doesn't care. It doesn't know about NAFTA. It doesn't know about the rich and the poor. It doesn't know about any of that. It just encompasses slaves. It just encompasses slaves. That's all. It doesn't care if you're black, white, uh, you live in California, you live in the streets of New York. It doesn't care. It just says, hey, you're in debt and I own you. I don't have debt in my life, Omega Dreads. I have no debt. Debt doesn't exist in my life. So that has nothing to do with me. The $1.6 trillion in student loan debt has nothing to do with me. The trillions of dollars in credit card debt have nothing to do with me. The trillions of dollars in car loan debt has nothing to do with me. It's no concern of mine at all. Everybody that's in that type of world, they're choosing to be there. All you got to do is believe in mathematics and you'll be out of there. It's really that simple. Like if you don't know how much debt you're in today, these are all clues that you're in the debt matrix. Not you in general, but I'm just saying people that are listening. These are clues that you live in the debt matrix. You don't know how much debt you're in. You don't know what tax bracket you're in. You don't believe you'll ever pay off your student loans. You believe everybody has car notes. You believe debt is forever. You'll always be in debt. If you believe that, you're in a debt matrix. That's where you live. And as long as you keep believing that, you'll never get out, ever, ever. You'll never get out. And to wrap this up, like the title of this video, The Future Young Millionaires, your young future millionaires, if you listen to what I'm saying right now, especially the ones that are catching on at this age, you'll never have to worry about these different groups of people thinking someone or some group is keeping you down or keeping you in debt. You'll understand that those are all obstacles keeping you from becoming wealthy. There is no color barrier. There is no race that has more than this. Those are all obstacles keeping you from the true picture of wealth. When people feed you information like that, saying it's this group keeping us down, it's that group keeping us down, the first question I want you to ask that person, let me see your personal credit report. Once you see their personal credit report, that will tell you everything you need to know about their view when it comes to money, finances, the economy. It will tell you everything you need to know. I promise you. If they're in debt, they can only come from a debt perspective. They have no idea the language of debt free even exists. They have no idea. You can even ask them, hey man, have you ever been debt free? When they say no, then that's all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else, nothing else. No other, you don't need to ask them any other questions, none. The majority of people believe that there's some kind of outside entity that's keeping them down, preventing them from becoming wealthy or rich or whatever you want to call it. Those are all words. Once you're out of the debt matrix, rich, billionaire, millionaire, all those are just simply words that people in debt recognize with as meaning and has lots of money. Once you're out of debt, you realize money is nothing more than a tool. You won't have to worry about any of that. You won't even think about money like that. You barely even think about money, period. What's that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. This is true. We're going to wrap this up. We got 2 hours and 13 minutes of me just yip yapping. Thank you for participating. Omega Dreads, appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Please don't forget to subscribe. People that are listening quietly, that don't say anything, please hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. Free 30-minute consultation. My website is rolling down there at the bottom. Just go to my website, click on book free consultation and we can get this started. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. I might jump back on here shortly, counting if my girlfriend gets up or not. And then I'm going to do a critique of a particular video so you guys can see and hear the people that are giving financial advice via debt or via debt free. Okay. Thank you, everyone. You guys have a wonderful Monday. Like I said, be looking out for me shortly, just in case if I can. I'm going to pick a video and then I'm going to critique it. So be ready for that. All right. You guys have a wonderful day.